Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. We are the Mile High Property Brothers. Today, getting right into it, the top 3 cities to live in when it comes to Denver Metro.
All right, let's check it out, guys. What's up, guys? I'm Eli Schmidt. This is my partner, Will Grimes. And if it's your first time checking out our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell. That way you get notified every Tuesday and Thursday, because we tell you everything there is to know about moving to or living in the entire Denver, Colorado area.
100%, and we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, which means just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with those real estate needs. So that number that's popping up below, we are the guys who answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if there's something we can do for you, we would love to, but with that being said, let's dive into it. And we've been diving hard into this. It's not just our opinion. It's opinion on forums.
Yep.
It's opinion on
our own clients.
I haven't even shaved in like 200 years.
Coming in good.
Are you doing this for world peace?
Are you doing this for the homeless?
That's me in search of
right.
everyone's opinion as far as the top 3 places you should be living in, or at least maybe in the surrounding area of, when it comes to Denver Metro.
To get into it, in no particular order, we're gonna start off with number 1, and that may come as no big surprise to any of you guys, but that is gonna be Boulder, Colorado.
We'll dive into some specifics, but as far as like Boulder, it's nostalgic. You think of it when you think of Aspen, Colorado.
I'm talking about a little place called Aspen.
It's nationally recognized. It's been around for a long time. You've got amazing school districts. It's actually the number 1 school district here in Colorado. But as far as like national park area, you've got protected space up there, which means they are not allowing any more lots going up there. So as far as like expansion and new builds and all this stuff, the lot/land that's up there where you're allowed to live already is being protected. That's what it's got. Whatever's been allowed is what's been allowed, and it is staying there, which is super cool because you don't have to worry about things overgrowing. We'll talk about some of that when we get into some of these other areas, but it's really cool, and yes, it does help protect value overall as far as like you living up there.
It is, and the reason it falls into this list of some of the top places to live, yes, we do know that there's a higher price point up there, but there's a ton of people that, hey, living in Boulder is worth that higher price point. But with that higher price point comes a very, 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 very stable economy.
Correct.
Comes, man, just tried and true. You know the Boulder market in Colorado is always going to do well.
You've got Pearl Street, super cool. It's almost like a smaller version of 16th Street Mall.
Yep.
You've got a lot of mom and pop shops. You've got restaurants up there, a couple of really good Italian restaurants.
Yeah,
it's
really good
amazing.
food up there.
And like the walkability of Boulder, depending on where you live, whether it's by the campus, if you live up on the back end or like in the mountains, yes, you would definitely need to drive. But as far as like once you get down there, just the walkability as far as like Pearl Street, everywhere you can go, the trails, people going down by the water, hanging out by the canyon.
Ton of stuff to
You're
do.
saving money on gas. That's for sure.
true, that's
and like
true.
a lot of folks wear Crocs or they don't wear shoes at all up there. So you're definitely saving money there. And like one outfit in Boulder, a couple holes in it, you know, maybe a hemp shirt. Like it goes a long way.
That's
is what I'm
right.
getting at.
I go to the Cup for an organic, fair trade, on tap nitro cold brew coffee.
So as far as like your home costing a little bit more, you're definitely saving in the fashions department.
Yeah, I think a big draw to Boulder is the variety of living that you can have up there. I mean, you can have your typical downtown feel living, right? And then you can have your just on the outskirts of town, a little more of your typical suburbia. And then you can have straight up real mountain living, all within 10 minutes of being right downtown, which is very, very unique.
And you're also within 30 minutes of downtown Denver,
true.
right? You're just off of Highway 36. So when it comes to like commute, the reason why there is such a demand is because a lot of folks still live and desire to go to Denver.
Yep.
It's hard to beat what you get in Boulder, being that close to Denver. Really cool.
All right, number 2 on the list, one of our favorites. You've heard us talk about it a ton, not lately though, and that is Aurora. We're gonna break down Aurora into the 3 primary sections that it is.
And specifically as far as like desirability, just so you guys, because I'm sure the eyes are rolling right now, not a problem. specifically as far as desirability, it's gonna be like your southeast portion of southeast of Aurora, right?
South and southeast.
South and southeast, like you've got Cherry Creek Schools, you've got South Ends Mall, you've got Cherry Creek Reservoir, or excuse me, Aurora Reservoir. You've also got Cherry Creek Reservoir directly south. A lot of great things. The commute as far as getting everywhere, whether you're going to Denver, whether you're going up north even further to Arvada or Boulder or Wyoming, whether you're going down south to the Springs or to Castle Rock, just your highways and byways and your ability to commute is phenomenal. Giving you guys a little bit of context on Aurora, you've got North and Northwest Aurora, which I would call older Aurora. That's right next to Denver. It's been there for a long time. You've got the Anschutz campus. You've got a lot of young professionals up there that are nurses and doctors and paramedics and just part of like your professional medical field. A lot of reestablishment out there, a lot of growth. So if you're in that industry, definitely be taking a look. Obviously, Anschutz campus has Children's Hospital, University Hospital, as well as the new Veterans Hospital. So a lot is happening in like your more established area as far as North Aurora. Then you've got like your Central Aurora, which is what we would call like your Seven Hills area, Tower and Hamden. So it's directly southeast of like your Northwest Aurora.
And you've got, that's where like Buckley Air Force Base is, right?
You got Buckley Air Force Base over there, so it's big on military. You're also not too far from Cherry Creek Reservoir. That's just a little bit southwest from there. And then you've got your southeast Aurora, your southeast portion, which is, and your south portion to southeast portion for the most part has all Cherry Creek schools, which is phenomenal. You've got Southland Shopping Center. You've got the Highline Canal that literally goes all the way down into like Cherry Creek Mall in Denver. So a lot of outdoor experience, price point and bang for buck for what you get is awesome. Central Aurora, North Aurora, Southeast Aurora, all for the most part pretty good as far as lot sizes. As you get more southeast, depending on the name, they get bigger in houses, but maybe slightly smaller as far as lot size. That's just some of
more new builds down there,
just
right?
Modern. Just a modern way of how they're developing things. But your shopping centers, your views of the mountains all get incredibly good because even though you're going southeast, I feel like elevation-wise, you're climbing and you're having a better view as far as mountains and the front range, not the western slope, right?
Now, one thing I want to note here is that Aurora is the third largest city in Colorado. So not all of Aurora is created equal. And one thing I like pointing out here is that if you were to take the outline of the entire Aurora, the city of Aurora, pick that up from the east side of I-25 and place that on the west side of I-25.
It's like 11 cities.
If not more. Yeah, it's like 11 to 13 cities. So if you were ever to compare like a Highlands Ranch to a Wheat Ridge, Colorado, people would say, hey, you're crazy. You can't compare those two. They're 40 minutes away from each other. Right. However, people will compare all of Aurora all together all the time. So keep that in mind that Aurora is massive, massive, massive. So when people are referencing Aurora, you got to really distinguish between what parts of Aurora they're referencing.
Correct. And just like we haven't really mentioned it too much, it's still unincorporated, but like your eastern side of Aurora, you've got a lot of like new development that's going out toward the airport, even though that's Denver International Airport. You have a lot of unincorporated Aurora out there that's been expanding. You've got the Gaylord Hotel and Resort that's out there. So Aurora's definitely one of those cities that's doing a lot of great things. One, it's ever growing, but two, it's doing a lot of great things as far as like what they're creating as far as experience-wise out of neighborhoods. Definitely something you should be looking at if you haven't turned that stone yet, but you're curious about just livability in certain areas. Definitely like, don't just look at a city name, look at different zip codes. 80015, 80016. I think 80017 is out toward the east. Definitely take a look. More importantly, throw us a phone call if you guys have questions on that or anything else. But it's been one of those hidden gems, especially this past year, of how many people have actually moved to Southeast Aurora that maybe didn't think that they would in the first place. So definitely give it a take. Give it a look.
Now, number 3, one of our favorites. We're definitely biased, but we put it number 3 so you didn't think we were being biased.
Well, by him saying that, now you know that's just what we're doing.
I know, I had to.
Full disclosure, I didn't know that.
I had to. Now, that is Castle Rock, Colorado.
Castle Rock. So, directly south of Denver, right? So, if we're going back to my clock analogy.
Famous clock.
Straight down I-25, straight down 6 o'clock. Things get complicated. People use clocks as references,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
Smack this guy. If that were possible, I would Roger Rabbit this dude every single day. Either way, you guys understand it's directly south. You've got Old Town Castle Rock, which is like the original older strip. It's got breweries for days. It's got restaurants for days. And some of these breweries
stuff too.
Well, it's got like new modern stuff, but it's got like your old school, like just mom and pop style brewery, not like your chain breweries or anything like that, including with your restaurants. You've got outdoor concerts and festivals that happen here in Old Town literally every month as long as weather permits. You've got stuff for the holidays. You've got lights that are up.
Farmers markets.
You've got candy stores. A lot of fun. And because you've got the outlets just north of that on the west side of the highway, which is all of your big chain, your Guess, Nike,
Whole Foods,
Banana Republic, all of your big like outlet style stores are again just north and across the highway. So as far as like tourists or people that live in Colorado that are maybe within like an hour away, or people that live in the Springs that want to come up and shop in the outlets, they get pretty busy on the weekends. However, if you're a local living in Castle Rock and you decide to spend your time in downtown or Old Town Castle Rock, which is also where our office is, it's never overly busy. It's quiet, it's intimate, it's fun, and I love how they have that segregated. New builds are still happening down here. You've got more of a feel of being in the mountains, living in Castle Rock, versus a feel of like Southeast Aurora. You've got amazing views of looking at the mountains versus, again, that feel of like Castle Rock's kind of like you're in the mountains, which is super cool. You also can see mountains as well, but you just get more of a feel of like the landscape overall, like you're in it.
To summarize, guys, I think Castle Rock is one of the most undervalued places in Colorado right now.
Bang for buck is crazy.
Undervalued meaning the proximity you are to nature, the combination of new school, restaurant, shopping, dining with the old school downtown historic strip where you can come and spend a true weekend down here, just going to the farmers markets and all the cool stores that are around here with the family. Park your car and walk all up and down Old Town Strip. The combination of all those three with the overall layer of affordability. Castle Rock prices are like Southeast Aurora prices. It really, really is very, very competitive as far as what you get. All of those things combined with being right on the highway means you're 35 to 40 minutes from Denver.
Yeah.
It's undervalued here.
The way the landscape is out here, because you kind of feel like you're in the mountains and there's a lot of hills with mountains in it, you don't feel like you're on top of the highway. You get off the highway, right, and you dive into these neighborhoods, like they're off the beaten path a little bit. You've got landscape, it's incredible. You've got Douglas County School here. Douglas County Schools, so still great school districts. And non-rush hour times, you're 32 to 34 minutes from downtown Denver. That's literally me driving from my house in Castle Rock to our downtown Denver office. If it's traffic, it's anywhere from 42 to 47 minutes, so a little bit longer, but depending on how you navigate or when you have to go to work, 32 to 34 minutes from Denver to be down here. And sometimes people like to make a little bit of a drive and just have some peace and tranquility and quiet during their time. Like for me, like I get super stressed at work. I like the guy that I work with, like he's a boss, he gets weird all the time. I don't know, like but it stresses me out, right? And I'm sure it's stressing you out even just thinking of that. Or the move to Colorado, or the move because you're already in Colorado could also be stressing you out, which means we want to give you the reminder that yes, we are licensed brokers in the state of Colorado. Yes, we would love to help you with that stress and or any questions you have, just as much as we love making these videos. So that number that's popping back up below. We either got chance to phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if there's something we can do to help you guys, we would love to. Otherwise, enjoy your week. We'll see you very soon.
See you guys.
Brothers, today we'll be getting right into it.
Yep. Geetin'.
Skeeting.